Yo, I don't give a lovely mother F what you're doing right now. I have a Twitter again. Follow me right now before it gets suspended. If they let me keep it, then we get to keep it forever. But just right before the video. Alright, thanks. Enjoy the video. God bless.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Really quick before I start the video, I need to talk to you about—
Just kidding. Yeah, no, they don't pay me anymore. But for some reason, they never disabled it to where when people sign up, I still get money for it. Not sponsored, but still getting paid somehow. So, if you want to click the top link in the description, we both mutually benefit from it. God bless. Anyway, hi, my name is Nudah, and this is a story video. Yeah, it's 3 weeks too late. But this isn't one of those times like, it's gonna go up tomorrow, and then I disappear for 3 weeks and then come back when I need money. Not one of those times. Now, I'm actually recording, editing, and learned Photoshop in order to make thumbnails by myself. Thank you, PewDiePie, watched your tutorial. So if this keeps on pace and I gain another like 100, 250 pounds, dude, we are fucking good. Now, what you clicked for. Okay, so back in the old SoaR house, we had a ton of shit go down that we just never let on to the public. Oh, for instance, us getting swatted several times, even though eventually I ended up uploading it, but beside the point. Then we had Tensor leaving the house, General leaving the house, Crude being alive, me getting kicked out, like, just a bunch of things. I bet it still smells like me. Or at least what I used to do in there for it to smell. But the one memory from there that sticks out the most was, I think, like the 3 or 4 month period where tiny, dead animals would just appear on our doorstep. And with each animal, there was a little note or a drawing, you know, where whoever the person that would be sending it would be like, you know, I wish we could live life together, and, you know, there'd be little pictures and doodles, and be like, yeah, this is you, and this is me, and we're living life together. Just really typical serial killer sociopath level shit, you know? And before anyone asked, no, we never found out who the fuck it was, or why they were doing it, or why they targeted me out of all average-looking white people. Yes, we did get the police involved. No, they did not help. Yes, it was only white people who called the police. No, they still did not help! So, okay, the first time that it happened, it was just a note. And I'm pretty sure, like, the actual physical notes themselves were given to the police, or they're in whatever. Like, I actually don't know where they're at now. Yeah, I don't have any of them. The boxes, the animals, the notes. Nor do I necessarily want any of those things. And if you're thinking about getting me something like that, I mean, there's nothing I can really do to stop you. I would just rather that you didn't. But on the first note, you know, there wasn't anything really significant about it. It was like 2 sentences. It was like, oh, I love you and your videos, blah, blah, blah. How'd you lose all the weight, blah, blah, blah. Lipo or Coke? So, in all honesty, I mean, we're all pretty used to getting things like that at the door. I mean, when I was more relevant, I would. But the next time that it happened was kind of when it started to get scary. So, the second time it happened, we had all been out at the bowling alley. I'm pretty sure we were partying, doing something like that. Yes, I get it. We are 14. We go to the bowling alley to have fun and party. There's nothing we can do about it now. I'm sorry. Beside the point, we step out of the car, and some dipshit that I presume is from the house has left a whole ass box of Pop-Tarts flipped upside down on the doorstep. And so in my head, I'm just like, oh, someone fucked up and dropped their Pop-Tarts when they were bringing in groceries. I'm gonna go steal some. So as I walk up to it, I'm like, oh, it's been left out in the sun all day. Maybe, like, some of the Pop-Tarts have melted, or maybe, you know, like, they broke or something, because there's this, like, strawberry-colored liquid leaking out of the box. Then, as I got progressively closer to the box, it kind of struck me that there were no Pop-Tarts in this here Pop-Tart box. Because as soon as I grabbed the box, I went to pick it up, there's a note on top, I haven't read it yet, but the bottom falls through, or I guess it was the top because it was flipped upside down, but you get the idea. But out of the bottom of the box, a cute little baby bunny falls out. Or it would have been a cute baby bunny had its head not been pulverized with a fucking corkscrew. So that is when we finally up and called the police. So the next day, me and Revex are going house to house, door to door, literally everyone in the neighborhood, just to see if it was one of their little bastards that did it. And finally, we get to the house that's just filled to the brim with children. Either one of 2 things was going on at this house. One, FaZe Rain is having a fan meetup. Or two, somehow the child that lived at this house had the only access to Fortnite in the neighborhood. Just to give you a general conceptualization as to who could have been at this house. And the mom, dude, she just looked at wit's end. Dude, she looked like she was about ready to kill every single one of those kids, and then hopefully us. Like, dude, it was crazy. But as soon as we started asking her questions, and one of the kids that was kind of close to her heard it, he gathered up everyone in the house, and in unison, they all blamed the same kid. Meaning that they all knew that it was going on, but just no one had no thoughts to just say, hey, this is wrong, should not do this. And then as soon as they all started just blaming this kid incessantly, I was like, okay. So what this is telling me is that it's one of you and that you are using him as the scapegoat. And after some heated Instagram DMs and talking to the kid's not only mother, but math tutor, who, by the way that his mom was talking about him, it was really weird. This dude's probably this kid's stepdad by now, but beside the point. We, as a house, came to the conclusion that there's no way that it was this kid. He had too many alibis and just too many other things that were lining up in his favor that we were just like, okay, there's just no way. So now we have no leads, no help, and dead wildlife still just ringing the front doorbell. So by this point, word spreads and kid figures out he has the spotlight. He has our full undivided attention. And at the time, I'm gonna be honest, no one really could afford to buy a security system and no one really wanted to. So he kind of had us right where he wanted us knowing that this kid can pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants, and we just kind of have to wait for him to make his next move. In a sense, we're all just kind of winging it if this kid's gonna fucking kill us or not. Just, if it happens, it happens. Alright. So, finally, like, 2 months has gone by and nothing happens. And in that time span, you know, we've got a dog and a cat at the house. Like, we've got small little creatures that we're finding similar things to, you know, what we have in the house on our doorstep. So, I mean, it kind of had me on edge. So, later in the night, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock, a little over a year ago, it was the end of May last year. Pull up to the house after we had been in Atlanta all day for God knows what, and there's little cardboard box just sitting right there on the front porch. And this time on the note, it like, you could tell the handwriting was really, like, frantic and sporadic, and it, like, I mean, just everything about it was weird. Like, the kid had obviously written it in a hurry, and just, like, letters were kind of all over the place. Like, this isn't from a sound, stable-minded person. And the note, from legibly what I could make out of it, was this kid just saying how much he loved me, and how much that my videos have made him the person he is today, and that what was in the box was proof enough that he would do anything for me. And, oh dude, it actually makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And I knew it was gonna happen, just as soon as I read the note and I looked and saw there was a little box. Actually, I don't know what it was, in all fairness. It was either a gopher or a chipmunk or maybe even a possum. This is to give you an idea as to how mutilated and disfigured whatever the fuck was in this box was. And it was like, just the legs, like the back end here, I'm gonna show you with the cat. Also, we've changed the cat's name from Jack to Nathan. That was an entirely me decision, and it stuck. Wait, so imagine that everything on the animal's destroyed, but like back here, just the ass part. Hey, I'm showing them how a person was murdered. Or you would call it a person, I call it an animal. Anyway, yeah, you kind of get more of an idea now. But I mean, I'm just saying, the body of this thing was just completely eviscerated. Like, you could not tell what it was, it just had hind legs. And like a little stump thing of a tail. So at this point, like, I understand that I make kind of edgy content and it's kind of a little bit out there, like some of my stories, you know, attract the wrong people. Dude, straight up, I was fucking scared. Like, I do incredibly stupid shit on a regular basis. My whatever part of my brain controls fear, off. Just fuck you at all times. That I have never witnessed or experienced something like that made me sit back and think, like, wow, there's people in the world that are more fucked up than me, and God only knows what they're going to do. And you would think that after all of that multitudes of evidence, physical evidence, like neighbors testifying for us saying, yes, this is happening. They came to our house. We saw the body of the animal. Thank God for the police. They come in a big old fucking frenzy when we get swatted because some Slavic fuck from the Ukraine says, hey, he's got SoaR General held hostage and he's got a fucking gun to his head. I don't know how Slavic people speak. That shows you my knowledge on the Ukraine, but you get the idea. And even what I mentioned shouldn't even be a crime legally. But no, when there's actual dead wildlife appearing on my front door, that is just so badly mangled and mutilated that I cannot tell what it is. I'm Mr. Lopez, man. You see my badge? Sometimes when I stare at it in the sunlight for like 45 minutes straight, it's like being fucking flashbanged. Ha 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 ha! I'm fucking stupid! Because after 3 incredibly creepy notes, 2 dead animals, he's now tried to physically enter our home. Okay, for one, if he did manage to end up doing that, there were 8 people inside and he was in our home. If he managed to get inside, someone was going to murder you. It might not have been me, or it could have been me plus 7 other people. But, okay, for 2, he didn't necessarily break in, but it was the next step in the plan had he got any further. Because, and I shit you not, like, it is very hard to sit here and tell you this and have everyone not be like, okay, there's no way. Like, it just didn't happen. This motherfucker had the audacity to take our gate off of the fucking hinges. Like, dude, why? This kid had fucking balls, man. Like, that's crazy. And to me, in all honesty, I think that's the scariest part. Like, not only did he have the idea to sit there and think, yeah, I'm gonna go over there with power tools, sit there, like, while they're home, and take their gate off of the fucking hinges. But he also had the retard brain that allowed him to do that. And I honestly would love to be able to say, and that was the point where I gathered up all my savings and got all my friends and me out of there and moved us to a secure gated community. You know, right next to Whoa Vicky and Quavo's mom. But like a week or 2 after like the last thing had happened, that's when I originally got kicked out of the SoaR house. So that's where the story ends. Ha!